I'm Jessica Taylor from InkItUpWithJessica.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make an interlocking gatefold card, or as I like to call it, a buckle gatefold card, because I kind of think that this interlocking piece looks like a belt buckle. You're going to start by cutting your cardstock in half the long way. So this is 11 inches this way and 8.5 inches this way. And I'm going to cut it the long way at 4 1/4 inches to cut this in half so that I could make 2 card bases. Once I've cut it, I'm going to do my scoring. So I'm going to turn this piece and I'm going to score it 2 3/4 inches from each end. I find that that's easier than coming up with a second measurement. So just 2 3/4 inches from each end, and then we'll fold those in. So now our piece is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, scored 2 3/4 inches from each end. And I'm just going to fold this in, line up the edges, and give it a good crease with my bone folder. Once I do the first side, this is where I'm really gonna work it to make sure that my insides meet. So I want to just make sure that it's lined up, but that also the card is fully meeting in the middle. And then that's where I'll use my bone folder to kind of work it to where I want the crease to be. So there is the basis of our gatefold card. Have you ever made a gatefold card before? Let me know in the comments below. Next, we're going to decorate the front of our gatefold card with some Designer Series patterned paper. So each of these pieces are 2 1/2 inches by 4 inches. If you want your pattern to line up in the middle, mine do not, but if you have a pattern that you want to line up in the middle, you want to cut a piece first that's 4 inches by 5 inches. And then if you cut that in half at 2 1/2, you'll know that your pattern pieces will line up, and you want to just make sure that you tape them on the correct sides. So I will just center that on the left panel of the card. And I'll center this one on the right-hand side of the card. And that's how you make the basic gatefold card. If you want to add a white insert to the inside, if you're using a dark color cardstock, I have a video on how to do that, and I'll share that link below. To make the buckle parts of my card, I'm going to use the layering square dies. And to make the actual frames, I have one tip, and that is I made this card first, which I love. It's super cute, but the frame on this one is a little bit narrower, and it's a little bit flimsy. I feel like it's easy to get folded and maybe kind of get ruined. So on my second one, I made a wider frame, and it's just a little bit sturdier. So I would recommend that. So that means when you're picking out your squares, you'll want to pick out the size square for the inside, and then instead of picking the scallop that's just one bigger than that, which I think would be this one, I'm gonna go up a size and I'm going to pick this one. You could even make it a little bit bigger if you wanted, and you could also try this with circles or any other shapes that you have. I find it easiest to cut the squares out of the layering dies so that I can get the frame. That's easier than trying to cut out the inside of this with a paper cutter. Because these layer nicely inside of each other, you can cut them out at the same time to create your frame. Now, I do not have a magnetic platform with me right now, so I want to make sure that these just carefully stay in place. If you're cutting, for instance, circles out or squares out with punches instead of dies, I recommend that you cut the center one first, and then it's easier to center the outside one around the one that you've already cut to make the actual frame. So that's if you're using punches. This I can cut actually both at the same time. Hopefully they'll stay in place. I could also use a Post-it note or some washi tape to hold that in place, but I am just gonna wing it and hope it turns out. So you'll see it cut one piece out of the middle, and then here we have our frame. So now let me give you some tips for taping it all together and getting the interlocking buckle on the front of your gatefold card. So your frame is going to go on your left-hand side, and I've already stamped and cut out a square that's the same size as this one. I actually tape these back to back so that the, in this case, Bermuda Bay piece is behind, like on the inside of the card, and this is on the front of the card. So that just kind of tapes it together nicely. And then we'll interlock. So when you're doing your frame, you want to make sure that you're only getting adhesive where you want it. You don't want to tape your card shut. Ask me how I know. So I'm going to do it just along the left-hand side and then about halfway on the top and the bottom. So I think that should be good. And I always use the silicone mat underneath where I'm taping, because then I don't get tape like on my stamping surface and then it gets on my cards and makes a mess. It kind of just wipes right off of this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and center this on the front of my gatefold card. Approximately, it doesn't have to be perfect. So then I'm just gonna make sure that that pushes down, and there the frame is on the left-hand side. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. I am actually going to add tape just to this side, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of tape right on the front because I know that I want to tape it just on the right-hand side. So then if I keep my card closed, I can go ahead and just fit that white square right inside my frame so that I know that my card is going to close correctly. So just push that down in there and then guide that open. Make sure that you don't have any sticky tape sticking anywhere around like your frame or around this piece, because you don't want to, again, tape your card shut. So then I'm just going to add a little bit of tape on the back of this piece. And this just adds some extra sturdiness to the white piece here. So I'll go ahead and line that up. And there you have an interlocking gatefold card, or a buckle gatefold card, whatever you want to call it. So what do you think? Are you ready to give this fun fold card a try? Let me know in the comments below. Happy stamping!